Alrighty then, back once again for another reaction. This time it's MLP, Season 9, Episode 12, The Last Crusade. Which is kind of bittersweet because I'm under no illusion that this likely means, since we're in the final season, that this is the final Cutie Mark Crusaders episode. And if that's the case, this is a truly sad occasion. But then again, it might be a beautiful episode, just like Crusaders of the Last Mark was. That felt like the final chapter in the CMC's story until they then kicked on with using their talent. Brilliant that the show did that, by the way, instead of having them spend the entire show focused on one thing. Gotta get my cutie mark, gotta get my cutie mark. That's one of the CMC's best ever episodes. It's probably my favourite CMC episode aside from Surf and or Turf, especially because I'm a sucker for musicals. But anyway, so yeah, Last Crusade, they're keeping it up with the Indiana Jones thing. Like I said, Crusaders of the Last Mark, Last Crusade. The writers really like Indiana Jones, and like you see it in characters like Daring Do, although you could also argue there's some Tomb Raider influence in her, I don't know. But yeah, I have no idea what to expect. All I know is it's our last Crusade. I mean, I'm hoping it's not the last full CMC episode, but I think there's some significance with them putting the word last in this. It's the last Crusade. Like, farewell to the CMC episodes. Oh boy. Well, let's not stall any longer. Let's jump right in. Oh, hang on, a false start. First time in a while I've had a false start. The first couple of seconds I played to make sure the video was played. I didn't play it from the beginning. Here we go. Now we're off.
Cutie Mark Crusaders! Cutie Mark Crusaders! Cutie Mark Crusaders!
God, gotta go fast.
We're at my house!
Oh, Scootaloo's house.
My Cutie Mark!
You did? That's great, Skedaddle!
Oh!
Yeah! What's it for?
Oh, I know them.
Knot tying! And I never would have gotten it without all of you!
Oh, unrelated, you might need to go untie like 5 different fillies in the forest.
Next, I tried fishing, like you said. Then I tried rowing, like you said. But my oar broke. So I used my fishing line to tie it back together, and I got my cutie mark! Ah, I can't wait to tell every pony!
Well, you already are.
Oh, how exciting! You three truly have a gift.
Oh, is that a British
for helping
accent?
Ponies.
Aw, thanks, Aunt Holiday, but I'm not sure we can take credit for this one.
Of course you can. You encourage that colt to try new things. And
Or is that
because
more
you
of an
all believe
Aussie
in him,
accent?
He succeeded.
I could use that kind of help.
Come on, Auntie Lofty. You already have your cutie mark.
A lot of good it does me. I can't decide what theme to give this quilt. I've run out of inspiration.
How about
Go see
apples,
Rarity.
Puppies, kites, or cotton candy, or ballet. What about a Wonderbolt quilt?
See? Leave it to you three to come up with more ideas than I've had in a year. Now that's talent.
Yeah, so these two are from the
We'd better
comics.
get
I know
going
who
and
these
start
are.
going home. I left you plenty of healthy food for the weekend.
And I left you
I hope
cookies.
people hyping this episode up for
The
me
cakes will stay with you tonight.
weren't
Then,
assuming
Mary,
that
a
I wasn't
rainbow
aware
dash
of who they
every
are,
night.
because I am
Remember,
aware.
We're just a few stops from Ponyville if you need us.
She knows, Holiday. See you next week, Slugger.
It is a surprise to see them appear in the show, I'll give you that.
Auntie Lofty! Your aunts are so nice. Yeah, it's really cool they want you while your parents are gone. I know.
Oh, confirmed
Especially
alive.
Closer.
Good.
No pony bakes like Auntie Lofty.
I thought that was Pinky. I heard a challenge.
Coming home today.
I demand a bake-off.
Ooh, my parents!
What?
Don't tear us apart. You gotta show some heart. Don't tear us apart.
Okay, I see.
Today,
It
we're
wasn't
going to
the
learn
aunt
about
thing,
the
it's the fact we're
Pegasus
seeing her
weapon factory.
parents.
Once every pony is in their seats,
Okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
the
I am
factory
actually
specializes
shocked
in
that we're
snow,
going
rain,
this route.
sunshine, and
We're actually seeing them.
Scootaloo, may I help you? I just noticed your erasers needed dusting.
Imagine all those poor fanfic writers just tearing their hair out. Like, she's not an orphan after
hold
all.
on the lesson until after lunch. How about show and tell? Does any pony have any?
My parents are coming home to pony today.
We know. I can't wait to see them.
They don't live here?
Nope. Their jobs are way too important for that. They travel to the farthest, most dangerous places in Equestria to
Well,
study
that explains
known
why she's a
plants and
daredevil.
fierce creatures. And what they learn helps ponies, science, and medicine. I'd go with them, but it's too dangerous. Once, my mom had to wing wrestle a wyvern, and my dad got
Oh,
trapped
wyverns
in
are
a
canon?
Chimera's cave for 3 moons. He still has the scars to prove it.
You're making that up. No pony has that kind of job.
You should brag that you took down an Ursa Minor. They believe you then. Okay. What is it doing here? Oh!
Easy there, Marshmallow.
You look
Time you
awesome,
and
my
your break
dude.
for your nap.
Wow, this is a total Steve Irwin pony.
Now, mister.
Is this meant to be Steve and Terry Irwin?
Mom! Dad!
Oh, this is
Still think
adorable.
she's making it all up.
Nuh-uh.
Every pony, meet
It's
my
cheerily
parents.
still shaking.
Smash
Someone
it,
give
and
her a
it's all
hug.
good.
Sorry to make such an entrance. Just brought back a few mates from our last adventure.
We couldn't wait
Total,
another moment to
totally
see Scootaloo.
Steve
I hope we
and
didn't
his
interrupt
wife.
Anything. No, I think class is dismissed.
Give the poor girl a raise.
Right. You're nearly as tall as me now, Scoot.
Aw, come on, Dad.
Oh, Scootaloo.
I just love that you can
miss
see
you.
where she genetically got her, like, rambunctious spirit from.
And read them 20 times, but they're never as good as the real thing. It's so good to see you.
I say we celebrate with ice cream sundaes. They don't have those in the jungle, that's for sure.
Why don't you all
Okay,
come?
this looks
Our
like a very
treat.
pleasant affair so far. What's the conflict?
And Princess Twilight said we're such good friendship tutors, she might even let us teach a class.
Good on you, Scoot.
What an honor.
I can give you a tour of the school if you want. I mean, if you're staying for a while this time.
Oh,
Aw.
you'll be seeing plenty of us.
Really?
Oh, you're
Because
going
we've
with
taken a new
them,
job assignment that will let all of us live together.
I can't believe
but
it!
not here.
Awesome! All right, Scootaloo! Woohoo!
We never planned to be away for so long in the first place. We just kept discovering things that could help
We just kept
Equestria.
filling our
No
quest
pony
log.
else had the experience to finish our job.
But with all that's happened lately, Somber's return, the destruction of the
Oh,
Tree of Harmony,
plot
we
relevance.
decided our family should be together.
Very good excuse to have this episode.
This is
I
the
like that the
best
show's
day of
doing
my
that.
life.
We'll stay in town for the weekend so you can pack your things.
Wait, what?
There
We're
it
all
is.
moving to Shire Lanka. That's where our new job is.
But my friends are in Ponyville.
You can come back and visit them. Or they can take the train to us. There's one every month.
What's gonna look at
Once a month?
We've been together
Jesus.
our whole lives.
It'll be a big change for every pony, but it'll be a good change. Give it time.
Oh, this is an important lesson for the kids.
It's the end of the Cutie Mark Crusaders.
Damn. I can see what this episode's going for the kids at home right away.
And now
Sometimes
comes
your
our
friends
last
will
ever
move,
Cutie
and
Mark
this is how
Crusader meeting to
they're
order.
dealing with it.
First item of business. Cry!
Understandable. This is how every kid takes it. Well, most kids. I won't speak for every kid.
Now, just 'cause I'm gone,
Oh, I'm getting empathetic welling here.
No, he can't.
I don't feel sad,
the only
but them crying so much and so genuinely is making me want to.
Scooter ahead of us everywhere we go. Or put on plays with us. Or go camping with us. Or just hang out with us. Well, it's worse for me. I have to say goodbye to both.
Guess who just got 3 front row tickets to the Wonderbolt show next week?
Wow, Rainbow, you are... This must look so awkward.
That is not the reaction I was expecting.
For the tickets,
That's
me,
actually a
Dash,
really
but
good
I
joke.
can't go. Her parents are making her move super far away from Ponyville. What? No way. Scootaloo belongs here. And now we'll probably never
Well, I
see her
mean,
again. It's
yes and no.
hopeless. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
I cannot believe you're giving up so easily. You're the Cutie Mark Crusaders. Solving tough problems is what you do. We are.
Maybe I could turn my crying into a weapon to have a tantrum to be allowed to stay.
Together, we're unstoppable. I can't believe we didn't think of it before.
It's list time, y'all.
First question: why do Scootaloo's parents want to move to Sri Lanka? That's where their new job
Is that supposed to be Sri
What
Lanka?
if we get them a job here instead? Yeah.
But there is no job here that's as epic as they are, is
Some
there?
of those around here, like timber wolves. Dad knows all about those. And cockatrices and bugbears. They only study super rare animals.
They've killed one of
And
everything.
maybe we
They're
need
all
to give them an
stuffed on the
animal
wall.
no pony's ever heard of. Then how would we hear about it? Because we're making it up. Come on.
Wow, okay, lying solves everything.
Oh, you want these tickets, or?
This is what I wanted to show you. The tracks of the mysterious Everfree Banshee Beast.
They're like nothing I've ever seen.
Legend says it has 5 claws and 3 wings. And it's super
There are 3
dangerous
claw
to
marks
get
on that
close.
tree, though.
If only some pony could prove it exists.
Easy enough. We'll follow the spoor.
I think I heard something this way.
I really love their designs. Wow.
So the plan is, we let them get a picture, then we hide again, right?
They're gonna want to hunt you.
Now the plan is run!
Oh, good thing we rescued you. You were swallowed.
Guess you solved the mystery.
We'd better get back. There's a lot to get ready before the house goes up for sale tomorrow.
Oh boy.
Don't worry, Scootaloo. We have a new plan to keep you in Ponyville. We just gotta show your parents we're a set of 3. Then they'll have to let you stay.
Let's
here
go
with
find
us.
Not Boy. Just tie the parents up and force them to stay.
Good. Are these yours?
Yeah.
When we were
thanks,
still
Dad.
admiring
Just
our own
let us
asses,
know
I
about
took
the
these
project.
pictures.
We're the only 3 ponies in Equestria with the same cutie mark. The chances of that are so rare. It means we belong together forever.
Yeah, but you don't have the same cutie mark.
Oh, here comes the voice of fandom.
Look.
Well, this part is the same, but the picture inside
Yeah,
each of
yeah.
these is different. I think it means you'll stay best friends no matter where you go, and that's really special.
That's very valid.
But we... How do you argue with that?
You're gonna have to learn to stand up to
Take
them.
things
Like,
up a notch.
you love them so much you can't bring yourself to say, I really want to stay.
It's a potion I mixed up from Zakura's book.
She was able to make
Proof
her
is
own
only
decision
one
in the
thing,
washouts.
please.
She
What's
should
it
be
do?
able to make her own decision here.
On this potion, please depend. Any separation, mend, friends together till the end. We
It's
gotta
just
tap a
glue.
little on our hooves. Sound
perfect.
It's just
huh?
gonna stick you all together.
Perfect.
Is something supposed to happen? Is this
Well, I
something
was
that's
right.
supposed
They
to
got
happen?
stuck together.
The book didn't really say.
Well, let's go find a race.
Thanks for trying, Apple Bloom, but I might as well face it. I'm gonna have to leave Ponyville.
Well,
Don't
like
give up,
this, we're
Scootaloo.
coming with you.
This just gave me an even better idea how to keep you here. Come on.
Whoa! Maybe we'd better see Zecora about fixing this first.
We're running out of time.
Wow, okay. Now,
This has to work.
you're gonna get someone in trouble.
Hello. I know you're having fun with your friends, but we need to get all our things to the station.
We can't miss tomorrow's train.
Like,
It's
the
only
mayor's
one for a
gonna come
month.
through like, hang on, since when is there child trafficking going on around here?
Without me. I'm staying with the CMCs. We are chained to this post.
And nothing and no pony is gonna move us. No matter what.
We just sold the house, Scoot. I know this is hard to accept, but just...
It's more than hard. It's not fair. You're making me pick between my family and my friends.
Oh, Scootaloo, moving away won't stop you three from caring about each other. Why don't you sleep over with Sweetie Belle and Apple Bloom tonight? It'll give you a chance to say a real goodbye.
But I don't want to say goodbye.
This is
You're
important.
changing my whole life without even asking how I feel.
That is true. Like, there has to be a certain point where you consider her feelings.
Scootaloo!
Where are you going? To stay with my aunts. You heard my parents. There isn't another train to Shire Lanka for a month. If I'm not on it, they'll have to go without me.
Then we're coming with ya.
It's a run away from home
I don't wanna
episode.
get you in trouble. Rarity won't be mad.
Applejack neither. I bet you do the same thing for her friends.
That is good logic.
You're the best. You know that?
We're the
This
best.
is such a heartwarming episode. In the most, like, tragically beautiful of ways. Ooh, pretty.
Scootaloo, what a nice surprise.
And I've got a surprise
You-
for you.
Are the parents here?
You
Oh.
three inspired me to finish my quilt. See? It's Cutie Mark Crusader themed.
We love hearing stories about all the ponies you've helped.
Yeah, I like
So
seeing all the
Lofty
different
decided to
cutie marks
celebrate the
there.
special job you three do.
It's still a work in progress.
Yeah, it's kind of shit.
It's not your quilt we're sad about, Auntie Lofty. Mom and Dad are back, and they're making me move to Shire Lanka with them.
Snap and mine are back? They didn't tell me that.
Oh, I think the mail pony delivered your letter to my house. I love my family, but I love being with my friends too. I don't want to have to choose.
Well, then why don't your parents just stay in Ponyville?
That's what I was saying.
Their job is too important.
That's it.
Is this another potion idea?
No.
Apple Bloom does
There's
love her
only
potions.
ponies in Equestria that can do what they do, right?
Right?
Well, so are we. Our cutie marks prove it.
Yeah! Our job is to help other ponies find their purpose. And no pony else can do that.
Okay, find
So
them
if
a
my parents
reason
quit
to
a
stay,
job,
I
it's
see.
just as bad as them quitting their jobs. Now, how do we explain that to them?
Oh, you don't have to explain it. They will.
Oh, are we getting Babs?
Feeling better, Scootaloo?
I saw Babs's
little.
butt
I
on
just
there.
want to show you something before we go.
All right, but let's make it swift. That train won't wait.
It will if there's some sheep on the line, as Party Pooped proved.
Sweet Celestia's slippers!
What is all this?
Does Celestia wear slippers?
It's Cutie Mark Crusader Appreciation Day, but we couldn't start without all of them here. CMCs!
CMCs! CMCs! CMCs!
CMCs!
These 3 ponies share a rare ability to help others find their true purpose. It's a job only they can do, and only together.
That sounds familiar.
In honor of all they have done and continue to do for the ponies of this town, I would like to present the Cutie Mark Crusaders with a 3-handled key to the city.
Wow, fancy. Very nice.
Oh, Wonderbolt, salute.
Oh, I'm not sure you know just how important Scootaloo and her friends are, little brother.
But you're about to find out.
The CMCs use their free time to set up a
This
camp
is really
to help
nice.
us flanks find our cutie marks. The Cutie Mark Crusaders see the best in every pony, even when that pony can't see it in themselves.
Well, I'll be a 3-tailed bandicoot. I had no idea how important Scoot's club was.
Oh, it's way more than just a club. The CMCs have made a difference for
Okay,
every
it
pony
makes
here.
sense that they didn't
not
have the
just
full
ponies.
context
They
over
help
what the
every
CMCs are doing. I see.
Whether it's encouraging others to discover their special talent,
This really is tying the knot in the
Or
CMC
inspiring
story,
them
though.
to do what's in their
This is
heart.
like finishing it
these
off.
3 fillies offer the town something no other pony can.
Really is the last CMC episode, isn't it?
No way! After all that, you're still gonna make her leave?
We just want what's best for Scootaloo. And until now, we thought we knew what that was.
Turns out, you're just like us, Scoot. You have an important job that only you can do. You
Cool,
love
so
it,
she's
and
staying.
it helps all of Equestria.
Sometimes that means missing out on other things you love, like watching our daughter grow into a pony we're very proud of.
Which is a
Aww.
long way to say, Scoot, if you want to stay, we understand.
There you go.
Thanks, Dad! Thanks, Mom!
Oh, sweetie, I'm just sorry we didn't realize it sooner.
Our work is our life's purpose. We could never quit, so there's no way we can ask you to do the same.
Very good. I'm glad
Maybe
that
you
they
should've thought of
understood.
that before you sold the house.
Lofty, don't tease my brother. We already have a solution worked out.
Oh, yeah?
Since the CMCs make Ponyville such a nice place, we've decided to move here.
You can live with us,
Oh,
Scootaloo,
welcome
if
to
you'd
the
like.
fold.
That would be amazing!
Welcome to the village cast.
Will you still come and visit?
Of course!
Rabid bugbears couldn't
Well, I
keep
guess
us
they were
away.
living there anyway, but you know what I mean. Like, officially. They, like, officially have the place.
Stay here! You get to stay here! You are staying here, right? Are you kidding? CMC's forever!
Yeah! Okay. I gotta admit, I was genuinely worried, considering the hype generated around this episode, that Scootaloo would actually leave. That they'd pull the ultimate ballsy move and have her do a 180 and accept the decision and go. And that was like a really big change. Like a consequential change. Like, that's it, Scootaloo has departed from the show. Like, I mean, wouldn't that have been, like, a kind of awesome, ballsy move for them to have done? I mean, don't get me wrong, the way this episode went, I think it was fantastic as it was. But that possibility was in my mind, and I wasn't entirely opposed to it from a drama standpoint and, like, a character standpoint. Like, sometimes family really is that important, but obviously they didn't have the full context of what the CMCs do and how much it means to everyone. So I quite like how this episode resolved itself with making the parents fully aware of what their daughter was involved with and how it relates to how they're always going after their calling, and it makes for a very sweet and heartfelt affair. I find myself loving this episode a lot. This is going to be one of those episodes that will make reactors cry. I bet it will. But the only reason I didn't cry was because I was thinking about it from more of a top level than a ground level. I wasn't like on the same path as I wasn't on the same playing field as the characters, like oh no, this is so tragic, Scootaloo's gonna go, because I always knew in the back of my mind that okay, she's gonna be sad at first, but then we're gonna figure this out. So while it was like, oh, poor baby, to see her crying, I wasn't really feeling the sadness of her going because I knew the odds were slim. It was more like, okay, let's see how she gets out of this. Let's see if we can take this episode in a satisfying direction. And that's what we did. Oh my. Very cool to see the aunts. As I say, I know who they are from the comics. Them appearing was a surprise, but not as much of a surprise as it would have been if I hadn't already been aware of them showing up in the comics. So that's its own thing. But holy crap, awesome parent designs. I never expected that we see Scootaloo's parents. As I said, a lot of fanfic writers are going to be tearing their hair out at the revelation that she's not an orphan after all. Like, I spent years wasted. Like, are you kidding me right now? She had parents all along. All of my angst was for nothing. Oh, wow, but I'm so happy for Scootaloo. You saw just how much she absolutely adores her parents, and they are pretty awesome, and you can see where she got everything about her from. She's a little Evel Knievel. Like, it makes sense that her parents are such adventurers who are totally based off Steve and Terry Irwin. They even had similar accents, so the aunts probably did have an Australian accent, which was my second guess. So pretty good, pretty great. Yeah, the CMC is being sad. That was adorably bittersweet. Like, I really like how Scootaloo did stand up for herself. Like, you're not even like running it by me. Like, I've lived here my whole life, so I need a say in this. And she actually managed to say it. Although it took the parents extra convincing, I was still proud of Scootaloo for getting that off her chest. It's similar to how I was very proud of her for getting things off her chest in the washouts. Like, I'm a cripple. I don't want to keep idolizing you athletes because I'll never be happy with myself. I want to strive to be like a washout, someone who makes the best of their situation and still entertains the crowd with what they can do. Like, that was a really awesome episode, the washouts, and this carried on in a similar vein with Scootaloo having the courage to say, no, listen to me, this is what I think, and that's really cool. And as I said, this is one of those episodes where there's an important message for the kids back home. You know, it's like, anybody who's going through this can empathize with what Scootaloo's going through, like, oh, I had to leave my friends, or my friends left me, that kind of thing. You know, it's tough, and hopefully this episode helps some kids cope. Yeah, at first I got confused at the end because I was like, oh, welcome the aunts to Ponyville. But no, if I'm remembering correctly, because the parents were away, it was still the parents' house, but the aunts were looking after it. So they've always been in Ponyville, looking after the house and by default Scootaloo. So things are basically keeping the same. So the status quo hasn't really changed. All that's different is that we, the fans, know that the parents exist and that they are awesome, based on Steve and Terry Irwin. Rest in peace to Steve, my good man. Oh, wow. They really drove home the reference by wrestling a crocodile in the middle of class. That's what really gave it away to me, as well as the mother having a ponytail like Terry always did. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I see why this episode was hyped for me. I'm sorry if anyone expected me to end up a crying mess because of this episode. I don't know how other people have reacted to this episode because I'm always that little bit behind everyone else. But you see, I more took it as this is like bittersweet. I didn't take it as, oh, this is so sad, I'm getting so emotional over this. It was more, aww, Like, I can't help if that's what the episode made me feel, but I do appreciate everything it was going for and the emotion that was put behind it. As a final bow on the top of CMC's arc, this was pretty much as good as you can get. They, like, brought everyone back that they helped, except Babs, because fuck her, apparently. I didn't see Babs in that crowd, even though they brought Gabby back. Oh, I'm gonna let it go. Like, you just decided Babs wasn't worth bringing back. Like, she didn't need a voice line. Just have her stood there. What do you have against Babs? Really, what do you have against her? But yeah, they brought into context everything that the CMCs have ever accomplished, their current status as these really important ponies that help, and you know, it's like this is what they'll carry on doing for a long, long time together. It was a beautiful way to end their arc. This really is the final CMC episode, because there's nothing you can do with them from this point forward in the final season that would justify this episode not being the final CMC episode. It just seems to wrap everything up neatly, box it up and ship it off. Like, that's it, the CMCs are done. Obviously, you'll still get them in some capacity appearing in episodes, like Apple Bloom in episode 10, but anything you could call a CMC episode, this was the last of them. And it was one of the best of them. It was very heartfelt, very emotional, and I just thought it was very bittersweet and beautiful. And I'm just glad that things were mostly kept positive throughout. The parents were cool. I mean, sure, they were steadfast on bringing her with, but as I said, they didn't really understand at first. As soon as they understood, things were fine. And that's how it goes. So, yeah. Really good episode, definitely in my top 10 for the season. We'll have to see if it makes the top 5 later, but considering the amazingness of some of these episodes, I don't think that will be the case, but I know it will definitely be a top 10. So on that note, I shall see you guys next time.